Today we're going to talk about the power of energy versus time. Before I start talking about the power of energy versus time, I want you to go down and hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to select the bell whenever you finish watching the video so you'll be notified whenever I add a new video. The power of energy versus time. Have you ever been around somebody and you have been around them for a certain degree of time and you've talked to them or you're doing something with them or you're working with them and all of a sudden you walk away, whether it be an hour, whether it be 5 minutes, whether it be 2 hours, and all of a sudden you feel totally drained. You feel like you just want to go back home and go back to sleep and fall asleep and rest again and start again because you're so tired. That's what we're going to be talking about today, the power of energy versus time. You see, you have to guard your heart, because when you guard your heart, because out of your heart comes the wellspring of life. You see, that energy that flows, that anointing that flows upon your life, it flows from deep within, and that's why you have to learn to live from the inside out. So whenever I speak about energy today, I'm talking about the anointing upon your life, or the energy, the divine energy that flows out of you. You see, as you learn to live from the inside out, you always have to guard your heart. How do you guard your heart? You always move in love. You always move in forgiveness. You always move in grace. You always move in the spirit of honoring others. You always move in the spirit of unity. And you always move in the spirit of love. What happens? Sometimes you come around some people and you deal with people and they're a very manipulative spirit. They have a spirit of division. They have a spirit of hatred. They have underlying secret agendas. And those underlying secret agendas literally saps or literally drains you of that energy. And that drainage is what you're feeling. So you have to guard your heart. You have to watch and look out for the people as you deal with them throughout the day. Because some people, they're very manipulative. Some people are very divisive. Some people's goal is to literally break everything apart or push their own agendas. They will come in and they want to be your friend. They want to be so close to you and they don't even know you yet. And they haven't even learned about you yet. And they want to be so close so that they could utilize you to push their agenda. They could utilize you to forward their cause. They could utilize you for their own personal advancement. And when they do that, what happens? That's when you feel discomfort. That's when you feel that energy being dragged out of you. That's when you feel that energy being sapped out of you, because that person is of a divisive spirit. That person is of a manipulative spirit. That person is of a spirit that's counter or against the anointing or against the grace that's upon your life. And as a result of that, it's literally sapping you. It's literally draining you of energy. You see, so as you go through the day and you do your task, it's not just about the time that you take on the task. You want to guard your energy. Guard that energy that's upon you. How do you create more of that energy? You see, I have on my phone, there's a notification that reminds me 5 times of the day, throughout the day. And it says, bring the joy. Because what happened, it helps me to reassess where I am. And it helps me to start reassessing myself. So I'm living from the inside out. I'm living with that divine relationship with my Creator. And out of that divine relationship, that joy is flowing out of me. That joy is flowing from the inside out. That joy is bathing and concreting and cementing and covering everything around me. And as a result, that energy is constantly pouring out of me that tells the people around me, come up higher. You can do better. You can do it. You are born for greatness. You have a destiny inside of you. You have a will inside of you. You have a calling inside of you that wants to come out under the outside of you and show the world how great you are, because your Creator have made you to do something great. And as a result, that steps up, that energy that rises up within me, that helps others and cheers others on, functions with me as I go throughout today. Functions in each tutoring apartment, function with each student I speak to, function with each person I minister to, function with each person I interact with. So every time I have to guard that energy. I have to guard that energy. I have to be able to discern whether someone is around me with a manipulative spirit. I have to be able to discern what agendas that person has. Because some people come to you and they're dressed like a sheep, but they're actually a wolf dressed in sheep clothing. Some people come in and they come in to destroy, to seek, to kill, and to destroy. They come in with the desire to tear everything apart. They come into the desire. All what it is to further their cause, to further their agenda, and they're not team players. So you have to be able to identify who's not for you. You have to be able to identify who's against you. You have to be able to identify the people who are setting traps for you to walk in so that they could look at your demise and laugh at your demise and laugh at you being conquered, laugh at you being taken over, laugh at you being destroyed because what? You're not guarding that energy. You're not guarding your heart. You want always love, grace, peace, joy, forgiveness to flow out of you. You always want to move in a spirit of love. Another thing that I do to guard that energy is that I choose joy. There's a big sign I always said as I go out my door, and it said, choose joy. You see, I bring joy into everything. I always look for a word or a way I could encourage others, how I could lift others up. And then I'm able to identify the ones who you don't want to cast your pearls to the swine. There's some people, they just don't want to be encouraged. There's some people, they're just there just to be there, just to disrupt your day. And then you have to be able to identify those people, and then you just simply move on. You have to be able to identify those energy drainers in your life, and then you have to choose not to spend too much time with them, not to interact too much with them. I'm not saying don't go out and talk to people, but what I'm saying is spend less time with them. Don't let them drain you of that energy. Don't let them drain you of that love, that grace, that understanding, that wisdom that you could pour into others. Don't let them drain you of that heart of love, of that heart that's willing to dispense grace into others. Don't let them drain you of your desire to want to grow others. Don't let them drain you of your desire to be the best version of yourself, because your creator have called you to be the best version of yourself. Don't let them put a muzzle on your mouth and silence you from doing the call that you want to do, because you feel down, you feel despondent, you feel beaten down by their negative words and their negative actions and their complaining and their bickering and their divisive nature. Identify who those energy drainers are and remove those energy drainers from the equation. As you remove those energy drainers from the equation, what you will find is that your time will be well spent. You will find that you will be able to do more with less time. You will find that you will be able to truly bring the joy to the party. You'll realize that every engagement that you do, others will look at you when they see you coming and they're like, ooh, I'm glad they're here, because I know because they're here and because they open up their mouth, they're going to speak something into my life. They're going to deposit something in my life that will cause me to want to be the best version of myself. They're going to deposit something into my life that will cause me to want to be better. They're going to deposit something into my life that will say, watch me, I can do this. They will deposit something into my life that will cause me to strive for greatness. They will deposit something in my life that will cause me to want to go and forgive that person that I'm holding unforgiveness against. They will deposit something into my life that will cause me to want to move in love, that would cause me to want to move in grace, that will cause me to want to move in that anointing, that will cause me to want to move in the breaker's anointing, that brings about breaking and deliverance in every single area of my life, and that causes me to move in that love, that causes me to move in that grace, and that causes me to move in that positive energy. You see, you always want to be around people that bring forth life. You always want to be around people that tells you that you can be great and love on you. You always want to be around people that honor you, that respect you. You want to be around people that truly celebrate you and people who are truly cheering you on. And you see, as you're around those people, what happened? Every muscle of your being, every sense of you inside of you leaps to that, and it says, I can be great. I can do this. I can do everything with a spirit of excellence. I can operate in my genius zone. I could operate in the zone where I am doing things with a spirit, not only with a spirit of excellence, but enjoying it and bringing all of that energy to the party, bringing all that love to the party, bringing all that grace to the party, that every moment, every minute of my time is dedicated to my destiny. Every moment and every minute of my time is dedicated to doing everything with a spirit of love, with a spirit of grace, out of a spirit of harmony, out of a spirit of togetherness, and out of a spirit of unity. So go out there today and learn the power of energy versus time. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button below. Hit the subscribe button below. And when you hit the subscribe button, don't forget to select the bell, because by selecting the bell, it will give you that wonderful opportunity to be notified whenever I add a new video. God bless you.